The price of an article is increased by 7%. So let's first figure out everything that we need. What was the price of the article in terms of percentage before it was increased? So before we did anything to the price of the article, it was 100% of the price. It wasn't less than 100%, it wasn't more. 100% means, in terms of fractions, 100 over 100, which is the same as saying 1. So 100% means nothing has been done to it yet. 100% or 100 over 100 is the original price. Now, when the article's price is increased by 7%, we have to add 7% to that 100%. So 7% expressed as a fraction is 7 over 100. Now, if we want to add 7% to 100%, we are adding 7 over 100 to 100 over 100, which gives us 107 over 100. You can also call that 107%. So let's look at our first question, part A. What is the ratio of the new price to the old price? Okay, well, let's think about this in terms of fractions. So the new price being 107 over 100 to the old price, which is 100 over 100. Well, we can multiply both sides by 100 to get rid of the denominators. And that leaves us with a ratio of 107 to 100. We could have also just thought of this in terms of percentage, so 107% to 100%. Well, let's get rid of these percentages on both sides because we are comparing the same percentage units. So once again, we are left with 107 to 100. That is the ratio of the new price to the old price. Part B, the ratio of the change in price to the new price. So let's just write that down. Change in price to the new price. Well, what was the change in percentage? Let's look back. So the price increased by 7%. So 7% is the change. So the change in price was 7%. The new price was 107%. Getting rid of these percentage signs, our ratio that we're left with is 7 to 107. And once again, we could have also just thought of that in terms of fractions. So we could have said 7 over 100 to 107 over 100. Multiplying both sides by 100, we get rid of the denominators, and we are once again left with a ratio of 7 to 107. All right, let's take a look at part C. The factor by which the change in price must be multiplied to give the old price. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy this little piece, bring it down to the bottom so that we can look at the question while we're doing our work. There we go. The factor by which the change in price must be multiplied to give the old price. I'm just going to underline change in price, the old price. Okay, so what was the change in price? It was change in price was 7%, or rather 7 over 100, however you want to call it, and the old price was 100% before we did anything. So 100 over 100. So the question is asking basically, what do we need to multiply the change of price by in order to get back to the original price? So the way we can think about this is, if we have 7 over 100, what do we have to multiply it by in order to get back to 100 over 100? Well, what is 100 over 100? It's equal to 1. Now, what do we multiply a fraction by in order to get 1? Whoops. You might remember, in order to get to 1, we can multiply any fraction by its reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 7 over 100? It is flipped upside down, so 100 over 7. And let's work this out to make sure it makes sense. So let's multiply out these two fractions. 7 times 100 in the numerator is 700. 100 times 7 in the denominator is once again 700. That is equal to 1, which is equal to 100 over 100. And that brings us back to 100%. So we are correct. The factor that we have to multiply 7 over 100 by in order to get back to 100% is 100 over 7.